In our last two videos, we gave an in-depth look at the equipment used by the armed forces of Azerbaijan, Armenia, and the Artsakh Defense Forces. With the fighting still ongoing, we at Combat Ineffective will give our analysis of what is going on and what we feel may be the goals of the two sides. As the conflict has gone from a small localized offensive and some small skirmishes and artillery duels to a full offensive along a main front, it is giving a lot more information as to what is going on. In our last video dealing with the Armenians, we mentioned that Armenian air defense may play a crucial role in the fighting. This is certainly proving to be the case. The Azeri Air Force has been targeting the air defense assets of the Armenians, including the S-300s. The Armenians are putting up a good defense with their air defense, with confirmed and unconfirmed reports of numerous losses on the Azeri side. There is even a report of an Azeri helicopter being shot down by Iranian ground forces after it strayed across the border after an attack run against Armenian positions. Azerbaijan does have a larger air force, but the question is, how many losses can they sustain and still be effective in the fight? The Azeri UAVs have been heavily utilized in the fighting, with many videos showing their footage of Azeri airstrikes on Armenian positions. But these too have been taking some losses, including at least one confirmed kill of a Turkish-made TB2 Bayraktar. Other Armenian videos show the shootdown of another Azeri drone. On the ground, the picture is a lot more unclear as to who is winning. A majority of the footage is coming from the Azeris. In one such video, captured equipment and ammunition can be seen. Ammunition of all types, including D-30 artillery shells, anti-tank rockets, grenades, and various small arms rounds captured. A handful of captured vehicles, including at least one Armenian BRDM-2 and a few different trucks, are also shown. Despite a small ceasefire, the fighting has been going since late September with no end in sight. The international community, for the most part, is staying out of the conflict, with the exception of asking for a cessation of hostilities. The only notable exceptions are the Russians, with reported sightings of Russian troops near the border with Nagorno-Karabakh, and Turkey, who has declared their full support for the Azerbaijani allies. While the fighting has occurred over most of the border with Nagorno-Karabakh, the main axis of advance appears to be along the southern border near Iran. Azerbaijan appears to be driving westward through this area in the direction of their own cutoff region of Nakhchivan. Most of the Azeri air and artillery strikes appear to be targeting this area, while their ground forces drive further south closer to the Iranian border. While it may still be too early to tell if this is just the opening act in a much wider offensive, it is our assessment that the most likely operational aim of this offensive may be to link Nakhchivan with the rest of Azerbaijan. The loss estimates on both sides show that if this leads to a full offensive into Nagorno-Karabakh, that it could be disastrous to both sides, but especially to Azerbaijan. Our assessment is that a full-scale offensive to retake all of Nagorno-Karabakh would be the least likely. A possible reason for such a narrow goal in this conflict deals with economics, specifically the oil that Azerbaijan has. While they already have an oil pipeline that leads north into Georgia to the Black Sea, this would not be the most advantageous route. With connecting Nakhchivan back to Azerbaijan, there can exist an oil pipeline from Azerbaijan to their ally Turkey, which has a land border with the Nakhchivan region. This could also allow greater access for Turkish military assistance for future offensives into Nagorno-Karabakh, or even more ominously, into Armenia itself. Now that we have discussed what may be Azerbaijan's own goals in this operation, the Armenians and that of their Artsakh allies have one main goal in mind: preservation of their homelands. While Armenia may not be under imminent invasion of their entire nation from Azerbaijan, this shift presents a serious threat to their sovereignty in their own homeland. Azerbaijan has made it clear that they believe peace cannot be obtained with the current administration in Yerevan. Turkey has also stated that they would support Azerbaijan. This presents a new threat in the form of offensive operations from Turkey against Armenia itself. The Armenians regard Turkey as their lifelong enemy, and history shows good reason for the Armenians to distrust Ankara. For the Artsakhs, Their goal is nothing less than stopping annihilation from Azerbaijan. They have held this land as their own for over 20 years and will fight tenaciously to keep any more of it from falling into Azeri hands. While right now that means a stubborn defensive posture intended to bleed and slow Azerbaijan for every inch of ground, it will eventually build to a counterattack intended to take back all the territory they lost. In a previous video, the Armenian Tactical Assessment, we stated that for Azerbaijan to have achieved a victory, they need to complete this campaign rapidly. A prolonged conflict will only be a benefit to Armenia and the Artsakh forces. This will allow them to retrain more reservists, including many veterans from previous battles with the Azeris. A long conflict could prove to be a disaster for Azerbaijan, bleeding men and material on a losing campaign. In conclusion, we feel that this conflict will reach key indicators to the true intentions of Azerbaijan and their campaign goals. We believe that if this campaign is to reconnect Nakhchivan with Azerbaijan, then Azeri forces will continue their push westward into Armenian territory to the south. If their goal is to retake Nagorno-Karabakh, then they will soon push northwards, along with possibly opening a second front in the north to squeeze the Artsakhs on two sides. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell so you will be notified when we release our next video. Feel free to comment down below and find us on Twitter and TikTok in the links in the description.